Why are used Mercedes S-Class cars so cheap? There are many reasons why. I will list them. Reliability. Used Mercedes S-Class cars are so cheap because of the insanely high maintenance costs that people cannot afford. The ones who can afford it mostly just buy new Mercedes S-Class cars. They might buy pre-owned with minimal miles and maybe a year or two old. This is why a used Lexus holds value so much better than a used Mercedes S-Class or any Mercedes in general, excluding AMG products, which Lexus still has some of them even beat in resale value versus new MSRP price. It is all about maintenance, affordability, and demand. This brings us to the next reason, demand. Many people looking for a used Mercedes cannot afford a new one or do not want to splurge. Therefore they cannot justify paying $50,000 for a 10-year-old Mercedes, so they will only pay say $30,000 or even $20,000 because of the maintenance costs. They have to justify the low purchase price that will compensate for the other costs. There is simply not enough demand to allow a used Mercedes to maintain value very well like a used Porsche 911, which has classicability. They are not classic. AMG S-Class Mercedes cars hold value much better because they are not as common, besides having more performance. For the used car market, the less classic or future classic the car is, the less value it will have. A Porsche 911 holds value much better because it is a collector car moreover than a Mercedes S-Class. To conclude, these are the top reasons why these cars are so cheap. It simply comes down to demand and why people don't want to pay such a high price for them. It just simply isn't worth it, and those who can truly afford the maintenance usually will buy a new Mercedes or at least a semi-new Mercedes. You will be surprised why so many millionaires still drive used cars because of how cheap they can be. A surprising reason may be that Mercedes are not very well engineered. Yes, I know that goes contrary to everything that you may have heard, but bear me out. On my Mercedes, bought new, the under-dash parking brake handle assembly failed within 30,000 miles. After 2 repairs it then failed conclusively and required an eye-popping amount of money to replace. It is, though Mercedes has yet to learn how, possible to create low-cost, elegant, and durable mechanisms of many kinds. The under-hood insulation attracts rodents who have been a pestilence on our car. Mercedes engineering is so feeble that the company does not make cars suitable for geographic areas where rodents can exist. That includes much of the planetary landmass. Mercedes engineers have failed to develop low-profile standard equipment car tires that can consistently withstand American road potholes. Thus, a single pothole can ruin a tire or, as happened on our car, 2 potholes can demolish 2 tires at the same encounter. However, even a single destroyed tire requires 4 new tires because Mercedes engineers have failed to develop an engineered 4-wheel drive system with even the minimal tolerance necessary to operate safely and reliably with a small difference of diameters among the 4 tires. I won't dwell on the unfathomably limited extent of travel on the telescoping steering wheel, the meager steering wheel tilt options, and several other things that would strike me as rookie mistakes were it not for Mercedes's long history as a vehicle maker. Why are used Mercedes S-Class cars so cheap? New technology. The S-Class represents the pinnacle of automotive innovation. It's where Mercedes R&D get a chance to show off their expertise. Many innovations that debut on the S-Class will trickle down to more affordable cars about 5 to 10 years after they appear on the S-Class. The problem with this is that since these technologies are new, they are largely unproven. They don't have years of real-world usage data to draw upon and make changes. Thus, reliability is not a strong point in these cars. And since the starting price of an S-Class is so high, when these new technologies fail, it costs an arm and a leg to fix. So the prices for used S-Classes are so low because no one with half a brain would dare to pay any more on these rapidly aging experiments.